Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your host, ID Jester. We're going to be playing brand new, never before game number 100 for 2024. So we've done it. We've got to our magic 100 number again. It's only October 26th. I think last year was in October, but I think it was a little bit earlier in the season for us. But we still have a couple more months. We can get some more games in. I think last year we ended up having a total of 136. I keep thinking that number. It was 130 something. It might have been 132, 134, 136. I don't know, somewhere around there. I'm not sure we're going to get to that high. I wasn't even going to try and get to 100 this year, but it just so happened it worked out that way. So I wanted to make number 100 kind of memorable, and this is one of the few games that I haven't played with the coin system. Just because I don't know anything about this Gallic Revolt against Caesar. And I don't know. I had this game set up a while ago, but I never played it. I think it was just one of these things with the coin game where if you're playing solo, you got to run the AI. And you got to run the AI, and you got to run the AI. So it's like you have a good turn and you do your thing. Then you spend 40 minutes trying to figure out what the AI is going to do. So we're going to see how it goes. I can't guarantee how long, we're going to make it through all the way to the end. I would love to. I really would. But, it would take running through the AI bot without an app or anything to help you. It's going to take a long, long time. But it's part of the fun part of this game, to be honest. It's one of the parts where it's like, oh, cool, I get to run this AI system. Now, the coin games, have you been following along for the last 10, 12 years, they've gone through this evolution. And this evolution originally was they came out with a flowchart system, then they started going to cards, then they went to spreadsheets, they went to, they've had all kinds of different ways to run the AI, which is fine. There has been some evolution in trying to make it easier because they know a lot of players love the game, but running the AI system is a little bit difficult. So I think they've gone through some evolution to try and make this one manageable. This AI system is it is flowcharts. Basically going through a pretty involved flowchart system for all of the AIs. But you can see, if you're not familiar with the game, haven't played it a lot, it can be quite a daunting task to do, which unfortunately is the downside of playing the coin game solo. They're still fun, it's just you can't get it done in an hour or two. It's going to take you a long time. We are going to be playing a scenario. I know what you're thinking. Like, okay, which scenario? Well, I'm going to share that information with you. We're going to be playing there's a short campaign scenario, there's a long campaign scenario, and then there's a middle campaign scenario. We're going to be playing the Reconquest of Gaul. Reconquest of Gaul. This is the 53 BC. Now, with this, again, it's kind of a middle of the ground, kind of in the middle. There's, like I said, there's a shorter scenario called the Great Revolt. Is kind of the shorter scenario. So it's kind of a shorter scenario. The medium scenario is called the Reconquest of Gaul. Now with this, there's two ways to play it. You can either play with 60 cards or you can play with 45 cards. So we're going to play the shorter middle scenario. And then in that case, instead of playing with 60 cards, we're going to be playing with 45 cards. So it's going to be a little bit shorter and simpler, hopefully, for us to get to. So here it is in all of its order. I am going to push this out of the way because we're going to be making a bunch of piles down here on the table here. As you can see, I've got all of our cards sleeved here. And I want to get to 9, 20, 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, 7 to 8 to 9, 30 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9, 40, 1, 42, 43, 5, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 172. 70, so there's 72 cards, event cards, and then there is a bunch of winter cards, which is basically how we're going to be separating it out into the different seasons for us to play through. So we'll just shuffle this up really quickly. Again, we're going to play the middle scenario, not the short scenario. The short scenario actually is 45 turns as well. The middle scenario is supposed to be 60 turns, but you can make it 45. So it's the middle scenario, but you can make it a short scenario, which is what we're going to do. And then the long scenario, I think, uses 70 or all 72 of the 72 cards. All right. So we've got that. We need to draw out. All right. We're going to draw out 45 cards in 9 piles. So we're going to need 45 cards in 9 piles. Randomly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would seem pretty random to me, so I don't want anybody accusing me of like cheating or anything. Then we're going to take randomly. It doesn't matter. All the winter cards are the same other than the picture. I'm not even sure why they decided to add a different picture to the different winter cards. We're just going to take one of those and we're going to randomly put it in the 3rd, 6th, and 9th pile. Is that correct? Let me make sure I'm not lying. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right, so, oh, that's dumb. What did you just do? Right. So we're going to go, this will be pile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. So what we're going to do is, it's the end of the game is going to be one of the bottom 4 cards. So we shuffle this up, so it's random. We don't know where it is. It could be the final card. And then we just take this and put it on top, put this one on top. So that's the end. And then this is going to have your 4 cards. We're going to shuffle that in again. It could be the top card, could be in the middle, could be at the bottom, whatever. Okay, boom. This goes on top. This one goes on top of that. Then we have, again, 4 cards. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Boom. And then we just put these 2 on top. There is our deck. Lovely. We can slide this back down now. So we are going to be playing as the Arverni. Confederation. And we have one of the most difficult names in all of history to try and perform for our leader, which is Hang on. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, I know. I can pull it up on. Oh yeah. The other thing I could just. There he is. Vercingetorix. V-E-R is Veer. Veer Sin, C-I-N. Vercingetorix. Vercingetorix. It's probably going to take me probably 3 episodes to even get the name right. Vercingetorix is our leader for our tribe, which is the green guys. Yeah, we're the green team. We match the cards, so that'll give us an unfair advantage. So we start kind of down here. This is Vercingetorix. He's down here. We are going up against Caesar and the Romans, which are the red guys, which are kind of spread out there a little bit. I thought about playing as the Romans, but I said to myself, what would make Nate happy? What would make Nate happy? Because Nate loves ancient warfare, loves ancient history. And I said to myself, what would make Nate happy? And I think playing the Arverni with the leader Vercingetorix and introducing everyone to that name would make him happy. So I'm doing this for you, Nate. All right. So the red teams, the Romans. This is Caesar here. We also have up here the yellow, it's supposed to be yellow, but it's kind of like a mustardy color. It's the Baltic tribes, and they start up in the north. These guys are kind of going against the Roman Republic. Those two are clashing big time. And then we have the blue team, which is the Aedui. And the Aedui are kind of helping the Romans, but not really helping them, but they're not getting in the way. They're kind of not an ally, but they know that if they try to cause troubles, the Romans will just destroy them. So they're kind of aligned together. That's why they're over here on this side of the map together. We don't like the blue team, the Arverni and the Aedui. We're clashing with those two. So it's kind of the green team versus the blue team, the yellow team against the red team. But everyone's trying to win and do their own thing. But you're also trying to help your neighbors. For us, we would like the yellow to cause lots of problems with the Romans because they can help us win our victory conditions, which is all right. We need to get off-map legions, which are legions that are in this box or in this box. We need those to be 6 or higher, and we need to have the Arverni allied tribes, which are these discs here on the map, and citadels to be 8 or higher. So we need to have 8 tribes. We need to get a bunch of these citadels and tribes out. Right now you can see we have 1, 2, 3. So if we were to get a few legions and then get some more tribes, we might be able to win this. We could, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The Romans. The way the Romans win is they need to subdue all of these factions that are on the board. They don't want the Gallic tribes to get allies with all of these other minor villages and places around the board. So they don't want the support of the people to come to the Gallic tribes. They want the Romans want to just take control of everything. So they want subdued, which are ones without pieces in them. So subdued or Roman ones, the ones that have already fallen for the Romans, to exceed 15. So you can see they start the game at 14. So literally all they need to do is get a couple more tribes to be subdued, and they could possibly win this game right off the bat. So we have to be very careful, because the other AIs don't really give two shits about stopping an AI. All they care about is stopping us, which is unfortunate. So we have to do our best to make sure the Romans don't spread around. Like, they could subdue these two places, which would give them 2 more points, and, game over. GG. Thanks for playing. The Adui. Adui right here. The guys in the middle in the blue. All right. The way they win is they need to have tribes and citadels out, and they need to have the most of them out on the map. So right now you can see that the most are the yellow team. The yellow has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the yellow has 7. So for the blue player to win, they need to have 8 out, and they win the game. So it's all about getting their little round discs and their citadels. So what's the difference between a round piece and a square piece, if you're not familiar with this game? Well, let's talk about it. So all of these different locations on the board are where you can find these tribes. Some of the tribes are inside a square piece, which means once you have that tribe, you can build a citadel in there, make it a town or a city. So you can upgrade this round piece into a square piece. Boom. And the advantage of that is if you battle with somebody, you take half losses. If you don't, you're going to take full losses. And the same thing with the Romans. The thing with the Romans is they don't have citadels. They build their forts. So they just build the forts anywhere they want. They only have so many forts. You can see they have 3 more they can build. And they can only build 1 in an area. So the blue team, all they care about is getting the most tribes. If they can swarm the map with tribes and be the faction with the most tribes, if yellow loses a bunch of tribes, then it makes it easier for them to get. It's not that they need to get 8. They need to have more than all the other factions on the board. So if the Romans put out 6, they have captured 6 tribes, then the blue team's still going to need 7. So they need to have 1 more than all the other factions. Not combined, but whoever's got the most. And that can change. Like if we put out a bunch of these, we put out, say, 10. We have 13 we can actually put out. So we put out 13, boom, 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 then they're going to need to have 14. And last but not least, the Baltic tribe. So they're all about control. They want to have control. They want to be in charge. When the Romans are defeated, they want to be in charge of this area. They don't want it to be a bunch of just loose tribes running around anymore. They want to be in charge. So the way they win is they need to have their control, the areas they control, plus their tribes and citadels, which they only have 1 out there, to equal or exceed 15. So again, if they get there, right now they're at 15. So they need to exceed that. So literally, we just talked about the Romans. If the Romans go up 2 points, they can win. The yellow guys, if they just go up 1 point, they could win. So they're very close to either one of those to winning, unfortunately. As the AI, or as a player, not the AI, as a player, we can't win until the very end of the game. We have to go through all these cards because we can't just win. But I don't see us winning anyways. All right, so just like all the other coin games, you have inactive and active. You have, in this one, you're going to have combat. And we'll explain combat when it comes up. But you'll be fighting and battling and ambushing and doing all that stuff and removing pieces off the board. For the Roman player, they have auxilias, and they have their legions, which are the square ones. They don't want to lose the square ones because that's their legions, and when they get removed, they come over here, and that's going to help us get our victory condition. And that's pretty much it. So let's see. Is there anything else we need? Oh, the black team over here. We didn't even talk about them. There's the Germans. They are the Germans. And in this game, they just kind of swarm in every once in a while and do some attacks and cause problems with everyone. They're not a player faction. They're not a non-player faction. They're just kind of an event that happens. And there's not much you can do. There is an expansion for this game that you can buy that will turn the Germans, the black faction, into a playable race that you can actually play with cards and pawns and boards and everything like that. If you want to buy that expansion. All right. Without further ado, let's see what our current event is going to be. It is going to be Titus Labienus. The Romans get to start, followed by the Dewey, then the Baltic, and of course we go last. That makes sense. Of course we're going to go last. And then the on-deck card is going to be here, which is, this is our card. Ooh, we get to go first. All right. Let's see what this card is all about. If the Romans take it, Roman special abilities may select regions regardless of where the Roman leader is located. So a lot of times you have to do things in or adjacent to wherever your leader is. A lot of times. That goes for us as well. The blue team doesn't have a leader. But the Baltics do. We have, of course, the guy Vir Centaurex, something close to that. I should write it down. Anywho, let's see what this is. So, Roman special abilities may select regions regardless of where the Roman leaders are. It's a capability. So that's going to be pretty good if somebody takes this. Opponents suborn Caesar's second. Build and scouts revealed are maximum one region. Okay. So we should probably talk about the things we can do with our, obviously we have actions we can take, and then we have special activities we can take. Our commands or actions are rally, which are basically getting our pieces and putting them on the board. That's what rallying is. Marching is moving our pieces around the board. Raiding is taking resources from other people. Right now we have 10 resources, But as we do things, our resources will go down, so we can raid to get some resources back from other factions. And then, of course, the big one is going to be battling, and that's using our forces to do damage to the opponents. Our special activities we can do is Entreat, and this is to sponsor betrayal and turn allegiance to the Arverni. So we can take regions with hidden, again, face down or hidden, in or within one region of Vercingetorix. So again, I could only do it in this region or one adjacent. So moving him out in the middle of the map might be good. And I can replace a warband or auxilia with one of my guys. That sounds good. We can also devastate an area. We're the only one in the game that can do this. This is kind of our faction special ability, if you want to call it that. We can devastate an area, which basically starves enemy armies. It slows the Romans. It slows them from moving. In this game, you can move like boom, boom. Like Caesar can move 3 spaces. So all these units can go like 1, 2, 3. They can move all the way over there. If we devastate an area, if they move into a devastated area, that's all. They have to stop there. So, plus it'll damage the units that are there. It'll make the resources go up, and they can't rally, bringing more units in there. That's kind of what we do. Is we devastate the area, cause mass starvation, and force people to follow our path. And then the last special activity is ambush, which you use with battle to prevent your enemy from attacking back when you're attacking them, doing damage to them. So that's what we do. That's our special abilities. Of course, all these are slightly different than all the other factions, but that's the general gist. Okay. Last thing, and I swear we will start. I swear, one of these days, we're going to start, but I think this is super important to give you guys and myself a leg up on the competition. Of course, you got your coin playbook here, which is pretty involved, goes through all the different events and this, that, and the other thing. But the most important thing I want to look at is it goes through like an example of play and step by step. But here's the one I want to look at. It gives you your roles and your strategies. So we're going to read through this section to kind of give us an outline of what we want to try to do in this game, assuming it goes more than a couple cards. We have the Arverni Confederation. Your nation, the green team. You undertake this war not of your own interests, but for the liberty of all. That's us. It's all about the liberty of... We're not doing this just for us. We're doing this for the people, the whole area, everyone. Alone, the Arverni can unite the Celtics and throw out Caesar. Relationships. To win, and that's the key to the game, is to try to win, you must rally the Celts to unite in war and bloody the legions. Again, the only way we can win is if we get 6 legions off the board. So we have to find a way to kill these legions off, which the Romans are going to protect with their life. You have little to threat Caesar with, which is true. And unless you turn on the master, the Aedui will be your first enemy. So obviously the Aedui, right here, kind of in the middle, I just talked about this, putting Vercingetorix kind of here in the middle of the map. Like if I can get them up here, like anytime it says in or adjacent, it would be this region, or this region, this region, this region, this region, or this region, or that region. Lots of regions to do things with. But obviously, the blue player the Arverni are not going to want to put up with our nonsense. But look for a moment to turn against Caesar when you must make a threat to their liberty against them. The Baltic tribes, which are the yellow guys up at the top, are your easy allies, as they will draw Caesar and his forces away from you. Caesar and his forces are going to try to go up there and help protect what they have up there. Hopefully that's what they're going to do. And hopefully the yellow team will bloody his nose, do some damage to him. And in the meantime, we can focus in on trying to get rid of these yahoos that are in our way from doing things. The Baltic tribes are easy allies. They draw Caesar off and give you time to grow into your revolt. And they can be killer of legions. So offer them whatever you're able to do to keep up their bloodlust. You will see there's things you can do where if they have to retreat into a region and they want to like retreat into our region, you can say no or you can say yes. Obviously, the yellow player we want to say yes to because they're going to be our allies. Well, kind of, sort of. All right, war. With the strength of your cause, you can rally allied tribes and war bands and prepare your citadels faster than anyone in all of Gaul. Vercingetorix, alone among chieftains, can impose the discipline on war bands to march them with the speed of legions. Like all Gauls, your hidden war bands can raid enemy forces or nearby inhabitants to add to your resources for war. In battle, your warriors will die faster than the legions, but they are replaceable. If attacked, you can retreat and use your citadel to lower your losses. Against the Romans, you and your war bands can retreat into nearby forests and emerge later. With the Celtic love of independence behind Vercingetorix, you can entaunt other enemy war bands and allied tribes over to him, even those fighting as Roman auxilia. Although, and this is where we go into regions and replace pieces with our own, because they've joined us. And even those fighting as Roman auxilia. Although not tribes that are already in Caesar's pay. So if we can't change those, but we can change the auxilias, which is good. And Vercingetorix can use a devastating the lands ability that the Arverni control to starve enemies, block them from rallying new forces, and slowing the Romans' march. Finally, if you have an advantage in hidden forces, Vercingetorix can ambush to smash legions and prevent an enemy from retreating away. So while the Adui fights you, entant or battle your agents that might suborn Arverni allies and devastate his rallying grounds. To get at the legions, first strip away his auxilia and then go after them and ambush them in battle. Vercingetorix, guard your person against the Roman event of rapid march and battle. Your strength is Galtic numbers, and you will see, look at how many guys we have here compared to what's left. You can see we have like double the number of forces everyone else has. In fact, we have 35 pieces. The Baltics only have 25. The Romans only have 20 auxilia and 12 legions. And the Adui only have 20. So we outnumber everyone if we can get them out on the table. All right. Your strength is Galtic numbers, so rally them all. Do not fear losses. There are always more warriors that you can rally. Above all, always keep up the revolt among allies. You must defeat the legions both in the Senate and in Gaul, which is this area over here, because if these guys come down here, he gets all these guys moved over there. So we don't want to do that. We want to prevent this. We want the Senate to hate, and we want to fill this area in with more guys. So that would be good. Should the Roman Senate conclude that Caesar is succeeding in subduing Gaul, they may send him even more legions, getting all these, which would be bad. Under the right political conditions, his party may draw him off to fight in the Roman Civil War. So again, if we can get the Senate to cause an uproar, Caesar's sent back home, we win. That's what I'm talking about. All right, now let's go. We're gonna start. We're gonna start off. Holy cow! Who said this was gonna be easy? Nobody. That's the problem. All right. Falling Sky, non-Roman player. So we're going to go through the spreadsheet right off the bat. So command or event. Titus Labanesis. Okay. So the question is Caesar or legion with enemy, allied, citadel, leader, or control, or where enemy, battle, or ravage now would force losses on legion or Caesar. So the question is Caesar or any of his very precious legions or a citadel or Caesar or a legion, is Caesar or a legion in an area with enemies, a citadel, or an enemy leader, and if those people were to attack, would they force a loss of a legion or on Caesar? Well, we don't have to worry about Caesar because he's by himself. But we have a legion here. We have two legions up here. We have a legion. Do we have a legion up there? We have a legion up there. Okay. So if these guys were to attack, they could destroy that legion. The way attacks work in this game is each of the auxiliaries is worth a half a combat point, basically. He's got 4 of them there. So half and half, a half is 2. So you'd have 4 halves or 2 points. So he would do 2 points of damage, and each one of your pieces takes away 1. So you would lose this, and the second one would come off of the auxilia. Or I'm sorry, off the legion. So he doesn't have any kind of fort there. If you have a fort in a region, you take half losses. Because basically, half your guys are defending in a fort, which is much easier. But these guys are definitely in trouble up there by themselves. So, is this happen? Caesar or legion with enemy, ally, citadel, leader, or control? Or where enemy, battle, or rampage would force the loss on a legion or Caesar? Yes. So they will try to battle Caesar or legion with enemy, ally, citadel, leader, or control, or where enemy, battle, or rampage now would force a loss. So that would be true, but why would they battle? I'm just trying to figure this out. Because if they fight, that would be kind of dumb. They should try to run away. 881. And the good thing is it does kind of reference, and because this is important, let's read that section because 881. Most of this stuff you can figure out pretty easily. It's just a matter of figuring it out the first time. 881. Okay, here we go. So we have an eligible non-player Roman checks whether they should fight or flee from threats to Caesar or to legions, which is what we talked about. Okay. Or should subdue enemy allies. If Caesar or any legion is in a region where any Gaul, including Adui. Now, Adui, I think, is that leader right there. The thing with Adui is all of his guys, all of his little auxiliaries, instead of worth half a point, they're worth a full point. So he's got 4 attack right there because they're with his leader. So, if Caesar or any legion is in a region where a Gaul or German have an ally, a citadel, a leader, or control, or a region where an immediate enemy attack in battle or rampage with any special activity against the Romans would force a loss roll against the legion or against Caesar. The Romans might battle there, maybe with besiege. They do so only in such regions that the defender would inflict less than half the losses. Die rolls or removals on the Roman, and the Roman would inflict and no losses at all against Caesar. So check whether any battle region will include besiege at the outset of the battle. So let's take a look at this Roman special ability because that might change besiege. So help destroy citadels and allies in battle. It accompanies a battle. Battle with legions attacking enemy allied tribes or citadels. No leader required. Just before inflicting losses, attacker may remove one defending citadel or ally. But the citadel does still have losses. Okay. This is, again, why I spent all that time in the intro about this. All right. So you first check whether Caesar meets the battle or march condition above. No, because he's by himself. If he can't be attacked down here, he's fine. Next, check whether any battle region will include besiege at the outset of the battle. No. The Romans attack enemies who have within the region triggered the battle command first. No. If none or if enemy at victory, okay, the Romans will march. And I'm just looking to see if none. Well, this is a story. Again, this could have been like all this text should be streamlined into like a question. Are they going to lose if an enemy battles? Are they going to lose the legion? Yes, then do this. No, then do this. All this extra text is just making it more difficult than it needs to be. And that's why going to the AI cards is so much better because it narrows everything down into a simple yes/no statement. And I'm hoping they come back and do this for a lot of these other coin games. Eligible non-player Romans checks whether they should fight or flee from threats to Caesar or to legions, and should subdue enemy allies. If Caesar or any legion is in a region where the Gauls have an ally, a citadel, a leader, or control, and there's a bunch of those. There's a leader there. There's a... Oh, actually, what were the choices? Have an ally. All right, Caesar or any legion in the region with the Gaul. Have an ally, a citadel, a leader, or control. Okay, yeah, so they have control there, they have control there, they have control there. So they're in danger. Oh, they have control there. They have... Basically, they got a big problem. Okay, or a region with an immediate enemy attack in a battle against the Romans would force a loss roll against the legion. Yeah, we just looked at this, right? Because they got 4. It would kill this guy, and then they would have to do a loss roll. Now, the thing with the legions are, on a 1, 2, or 3, the legion survives. On a 4, 5, or 6, the legion dies. So they could take like 20 hits as long as they just keep rolling 1, 2, or 3. And these numbers might be reversed. 1, 2, or 3 they die. 4, 5, 6 are okay. I forget. I'd have to look it up. So, if this is this the case? Yes. So they shouldn't be attacking. They should be running. But I don't see run. They do so. The Romans might battle there, maybe with besiege. They do so only in such regions where the defender would inflict less than half the losses. So, again, if they battle here, they're going to do 1 damage. They're going to lose 1, and then, boom, they're going to do 1.5 back, and it's going to be 1. So, yeah, they're not going to attack because that would be dumb. So we check to Caesar, we can ignore him. Then we check to see if any battle region it will include besieging. So let's see what this, again, besieging. If they besiege first and then battle, when they besiege, before they take losses, the attacker may remove 1 defending citadel or ally. So if they would do that, then they could remove 1. They would do 2 damage, which would remove another 1, but they would still do 1 back. So that doesn't seem like that good a deal. Doing 1 attack and doing 1 damage, that would leave that legion basically undefended. So they're not going to do that, right? So if none or if enemy at victory, if the conditions above cause the possibility of battle, but no battle occurred, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to march. The Romans will march out with their leader with as many legions as available. So these guys are coming. Boom. And the Romans will march out with the leader with as many legions as able, and with at least 1 auxilia per origin, if any there, plus the most auxilias that are able to leave without Roman control or adding enemy control. So yeah, they're gonna. I think they're coming with everyone. So what they're gonna do is so they're gonna march. Marching. Oh my God, we're still on the first command. March. Move and hide Roman forces. So it costs 2 resources per original region. So it's going to cost 2. We're going to move in all these guys. And then we're going to charge 2 for them. So the resources are going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to move these guys out of there because they're going to get destroyed here in a minute. We're going to move... I don't know if it would spend the resources to move one guy out of there, but that's not a legion, so I guess he doesn't really care about those. He's just trying to protect his legions. So it costs 4 resources. He's gonna move these guys up. These guys are all coming here, which means congratulations. We now have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 versus your piddly 2, 4, 5. So guess who's got control of this? So the yellow team has lost 1, and the Romans So the Arverni have lost 1 point because the Russian control. They're not Russians. They're Romans. That's what I meant to say. All right. So that's going to make it a little harder. And then these guys are going to move over here. That gives them 2, 4, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's no control there. So again, they lose 2 more points. Remember how they were really close to winning? That was a great move by them because now they kind of have some semblance of control. All right, so let's look at what else they're going to do with the march order here. So they're going to march and with... when they move through territories, enemies can try to harass you, but there wasn't anybody in here to harass us. So they simply went to the next area. They can't place the fort there because there's already a fort there. They would try to subdue a place, but there's already max there and max there, so they cannot do that either. So they can't build. Are they going to build? Are they going to scout after? So let's see what scouting does. Scouting, move auxilia, revealing enemy. Any region with auxilia. Move any auxilia into an adjacent region. Within one region of Caesar or with his successor. Flip hidden auxilia to revealed as desired to replace, to reveal and place scouting markers on up to 2 warbands each in the same region. Flip hidden auxilia. So, flipping how many of these auxilia? Flip hidden auxilia to revealed as desired to reveal and place. Scouting markers on up to 2 warbands each in the same region. Okay, 2 warbands. So, he's going to flip to these 2 guys here. And you can do the same thing here. Flip those 2 over. All right. The biggest problem is trying to figure out this AI. I'm telling you. So that was them. They're going to do a command and special activity, supposedly, which puts it into the blue player. Now we're going to do the same thing with the blue player. The Adui. Oh, Adui, what are you going to do? Oh, Adui, what are you going to do? Oh, that's too funny. Here we are. Here's the Adui. So, the question that they start with is, are they number 1 on the next card coming up? No, they're not. Can they use the event? Yes, they can actually use the event. Is the event ineffective or capabilities in final year or no Adui? So if we look at this, you can see that the Adui has like this little symbol at the top of their thing saying there's a special rule if they use the event. So now we need to look at that. This one is actually going to probably be a little bit better. All right. This is Titus Labinius. Okay. So all these cards, including if the Romans are a player, no. Or if non-player Roman victory, subdued, plus allies, plus dispersed, exceeds 12, treat as no Adui instead. So the Adui won't give the Romans the win by playing this card. So if the Romans are a player, or if the Roman player, or if the non-player Roman victory exceeds 12, which it actually does, then they're going to treat it as no Adui. So the Adui will not take, they will not do the events, which is probably a good thing. That was going to make the Romans even stronger, and I think right now the Romans are way too strong. So what else would they do then? So event is ineffective, yes. So we're going to come down here. Would a battle force losses on an enemy leader, ally, citadel, or a legion? So they don't have anyone they can fight there. There's nobody they can fight here. And right here, he's got 1.5. We would do round down to 1. I would take 1 damage, and I would do 1 back to him. So, would battling force more losses on an enemy leader, ally, citadel, or legion? No. Are there 0 to 4 Adui war maps Adui warbands on the map. No, they have 369. Or would a rally place a citadel? Yes, actually a rally would place a citadel. So they are going to do that. So they're going to rally. So they're going to replace cities with citadels. And that's a problem for us. That is the worst thing that could have possibly happened. So he is going to, you see this city right here is in this, oops, come here you. It's in this square, which means he can replace that with the citadel. Now if we have a fight there, he only takes half losses. Boo. So he's going to rally. Sometimes it's easy to figure out this AI. Sometimes it's just, it takes like 45 minutes to get one thing done. So we're going to do an ally. Then he's going to trade. Only if a Dewey battled or the Dewey resources are 0 to 9. Nope. Let's see. They're going to replace cities with a citadel. They're going to place all allies able and then place all warbands. Okay, so we're going to have to look at that. When he rallies, augment the forces. Regions without devastation. Cost 1 resource per region. So he's going to select this one, obviously. In each region, if they have control. Oh, wait a second. He didn't have control. Oh, wait a second. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, cowboy. This is why this was there. Like that. Okay. In each region, if a Dewey control, place an Dewey ally with a place an Dewey ally at a tribe, or if a Dewey allies or citadel, place warbands equaling up to the number, or if the Dewey allied city replace allied citadel. Yeah, so they will replace that with a citadel. Yes, okay. So I thought they would do. Makes sense that they would do that. In each region. So that's that region. Let's go on to the next region. This one. Boom. They're going to place warbands equal to the number. Place warbands equaling up to the number. If they have an ally or a citadel, they have an ally there. They're going to place warbands equaling up to their number. I think this is 1. They're going to place 1 warband there. And then possibly here, and again, I think they're going to put 1 out there for that. So it's going to cost them 1 resource per region, so 3 resources. They put all that stuff out. Great. Next. Then, trade only if they battle or the resources are 0 to 9. No. Or the Dewey and the Roman resources are less than 15. No. Are the Dewey are second eligible, or trade would add 3 plus resources? Non-player Romans agree. So they can trade resources to the Romans, of course. What a bunch of jerks. What a bunch of jerks. Trade. Give resources by importing Roman goods. Alright, location. Regions within supply lines. Factions agree to supply lines or not. In supply lines, add +1 a Dewey resource. +2 if Romans agree. And of course, the for each a Dewey ally and citadel, each suborned tribe under a Dewey control, and if Romans agree, each Roman ally under a Dewey control. +2 if the Romans agree, for each Dewey ally and citadel. They have 3. 3 times 2 is 6. We're going to get 6 resources back. And if for some reason the Dewey had control of an area that had a Roman ally, they would also get points for that, but they don't have that. They only have control of these 3 regions, which is really bad because those 3 regions are right where we needed to go. Like, right where we needed to go. But that is, congratulations, 1 card done. We've been going, what, an hour? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. They really, 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 really need to... we love the coin games. We love, appreciate, desire them. It's just the AI systems that they have come up with these things as intricate and as... I mean, it is a lot of effort and work to run these AIs. And that's why I think the card systems are much better. You look at the card, it says, can they do this? Yes or no? No. Flip, go to the next card. Can they do this? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, follow these instructions. Do this, do this, do this. Boom, done. It's not quite that easy, but it's a lot easier than trying to read through pages and pages of information to try and figure out what the purpose of what they're trying to do is. Okay, but anyways, that's they are coming over here, and now it's the 2 good team. Yay! So this is going to be interesting. So this is going away. This is coming over here, and then we flip over the next card, which is Legions. Oh boy. That doesn't look good. Okay, so let's look at this one because this is for our faction and it has a special symbol on it. I'm not sure what that is. It is the Syrtius. There's Lucertius, maybe? We always do the shaded. Normally we want to do the shaded. Daring Kandurkan. If Arverni successors on the map or available, Arverni place him anywhere, symbol up as if it's Vercingetorix. So this is kind of if our guy gets killed, then we use this guy and we can bring in our replacement and he gets to be face up instead of face down. But our guy's not dead, so we don't need to worry about that. So guess what? We're probably going to do our command and special activity. Okay, we can remove all these pieces. Piece and piece and piece. Move, move, move. Get out of here. So I'm just wondering, with all these open, like we could add 2 here, 1 here, 1 here. Like, would it be worth? I can Arverni. Rallying some guys. No, or marching some guys. Like, do we want to? So we're gonna march. Yeah, we're definitely. I think we're gonna march. We're gonna march from here and here. These guys are gonna move in there. These guys are. Like, I don't think we have to worry about the Romans like coming back and trying to take over this territory. I guess we'll leave 1 in there just because. We're going to march into there. And we're going to bring up every... one resource, so 2 resources down. Okay, so march, region with the warband and leader, 1 resource per region. Warbands to go to hidden if they move. Move warbands and leaders into adjacent regions. If they move with Vercingetorix and through devastated across this ocean, if they try to go up over there for some reason, or they go across here, they have to immediately stop. If they do move into or out of Britannica, they do not get a special activity. All right. Okay, so we're going to entente with our march. No, we can. Yes, we can do entente. Okay. So purpose is to change some of these guys into our guys. Right. So region with hidden Arverni. And within 1 region of this guy, cost of 1 per region. So what I'm going to do is let's read this command, so we know what we're doing here. We want to do intenting. I'm not sure. All right. Okay, you pay 1 resource per region, and you replace either a non-Arverni warband or auxilia there. Only if the region is already Arverni controlled. See, that's where we don't have control there, so we can't do it there. Pay 1 resource per region selected to replace either any one non-Arverni warband or auxilia there, only if the region is already Arverni controlled. 1 Dewey, Baltic, or Germanic allied tribe there. Not a citadel, a Roman, an ally, or subdued tribe with their Arverni counterpart. 1 Arverni warband for each enemy warband or auxilia. one allied tribe per enemy allied tribe. If the selected Arverni piece is not available or could not stack, remove rather than replace the targeted piece. See, this is where the text of this information, oh my God, it's like reading an ASL rulebook. If you have ever read the ASL rulebook, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. What they should have done is had a short version of the rules, a proper short version, and then they have this as a side version for those people that want to sit there and read it. Like this whole paragraph makes absolutely no sense when you look at the big picture. And what they should say is procedure. One resource. If you have control there, take an enemy piece and replace it with one of your pieces. If you have if you're going against the Adui, the Baltic, or the Germans, you can replace one Arverni warband for each warband or auxilia? Really? Yeah, okay, so and what I just read you, like this is outlined here 10 times better than the rule booklet. But the problem with this sheet is, and we've found this throughout the years, is that this sheet doesn't give you all the information all the time because it's just kind of a synopsis of what's going on. So it takes this, like all this paragraph and all this stuff down here and all this information, and it says this is what it's doing. It's replace either one warband or auxilia. So replace either one warband or auxilia. Or, if the Arverni have control, you can replace one Galtic or German ally with a Arverni counterpart. That is absolutely what this says and what this should have said to begin with. Unfortunately, it doesn't, so we just have to live with it. So, we replace either one warband or auxilia. We're gonna do that here, and we're gonna do that here. If you have control, you can replace a Galtic one Galtic or German ally. Ally. So that would be replacing these guys with our own, which would be if we had control. But so that's, I see what it's doing. See, this is where. Okay, so we're going to do it in these two areas. It costs one resource for region, so 2 more resources. 1, 2, so we're down to 6 resources already. And we're going to take one of these guys and replace him with one of our guys. That gives us control because we now have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 4. We have control. Which means blue doesn't care about control. They don't have anything on the board about control. They just like to keep control away from us. And then here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to replace this guy here with our guy there. And that means we have 5 pieces to their 3, which means we have control of this area now. Go us. And now next time we do this event, again, we don't really care about control we care about off-map legions. Right now we have 4 off-map legions. That's all that thing does, is keep track of this. But now we have control of this region. And what's important for us in control of region is if we already control, if we have control of the region and we do that special ability, we can replace this disc with our own disc. Not just one of their little pieces. We can do it with the big boy piece. Of course, it costs resources, which we're not going to have. But that's pretty cool. Alright, so that is our turn. So now we go to the Baltic player. It is unfortunate, if you guys enjoy coin as much as I enjoy it, to see this. Alright, I'm not going to complain about it. Let's just keep moving on. Alright, so the Baltic tribes up in the north, our ally, let's see what they want to do. So Amberex, alright? Or, if they have 4 war bands, where there are non-German enemies that have an ally, so that's this right here, a citadel, a legion, or 4 or more pieces. So those 3 areas, is one of those available? Yes. Boom. They're going to try to battle. They're going to try to battle. Now, the first thing they're going to do is see whether or not if they fight. Okay, so let's see what happens if they fight. Can they ambush? So the big thing about fighting in this game is ambushing your opponents to prevent them from doing bad things back to you. Alright, in first battle, per box at the left, only if retreat out could lessen removals and or counterattack losses to Belgae is possible. Again, what does all this even mean? Now we got to try to dissect what the hell they're trying to talk about instead of just saying, if you can ambush, if you can do this and this, boom, do it. But no, now we got to actually go to their thing and look at the ambush. Alright. Location. Battles that begin with more hidden Belgae than hidden defenders. Okay, so they can ambush. So this is why now we understand. The Romans want to scout because when they scout, they turn them from hidden to not hidden anymore. So why is that important, right? Well, now we know why it's important, because the Baltic tribes, they want to try to ambush. They can only ambush, though, if they have more hidden units than the defenders. And you can clearly see that that is not the case here in this region. They have 2, 4, 6, 8 versus 2. So they're not going to be able to ambush them, which means they probably don't want to fight them there either. Same thing here. This is going to be a little more interesting, though. No, it's, wow. And they have to be within one region or in the same region as Amberex. So they might not actually battle, because that would be, they're not going to be able to do it here. They're not going to be able to do it there. They could do it here, because they have 3 hidden to the Romans 1. Let's see if they can they because they're not going to be here. They don't need to ambush because they can do 1 damage. They're going to take the 1 damage. It's going to kill that unit. They won't be able to fight back because they don't have anyone to fight back. They're all dead. So if they rampage, let's see, rampage. Okay, region with hidden Baltic warbands, and within 1 region of Amberex and his successors, which he is. Procedure: a faction, not German, nor any with a leader, citadel, or a fort, may remove or retreat, either removes or retreats one of its warbands, auxilia, and or legions per hidden Baltic warrior there, and flips to revealed. Those pieces retreat to 1 adjacent region under control of the faction that agrees. So they can try to force some of these guys to retreat, I think. A faction, but not German. Nor any with a leader. Oh, so they can't do it here, but they can do it up there. So they can rampage. A faction with the non-Germans, and they can't be with a leader. Citadel or a... Oh, they do have a fort there, though. Nope, they can't do it there. Wow. This is not going great for our allies up there. They're just... They can kill this guy, but that is kind of a wasted thing to... Like, to spend this special activity and do, like, kill one little dude? They can't do it where there's a leader, and they can't do it where there's a fort. That seems kind of like a wasted action, which makes me think, like, why would they... They're not going to try to battle just to remove that one guy. Does that make sense at all? So they have their leader or 4+ warbands. Oh, you know what? No, they're not going to actually do this because this is only 3. And there's nobody in this area where they have 4, so they're actually not going to do that. So, which is probably makes sense because it doesn't make sense for them to actually do that. So, are they first on the next upcoming event? No, they are not. So they're going to come down here. Can they play the event? Actually, we did not play the event. They could play the event, but they're not going to play the event because it's all about our successor to Vercingetorix. So they're not going to do that. Okay, so we're not going to play the event because it's a ineffective event. So it's ineffective, so they're going to come down here. Rally would add Baltic Allied Citadels, or 3+ warbands, or control. So let's look at rallying. Rallying says 1 per region. 2 if they're outside of the yellow area. So, but right now we're looking at just, maybe not, because we might look at this region. In each region, place a ally at a subdued tribe. That's not going to happen because there's no open spaces at all. Or if they have a ally or a citadel, they're going to place warbands equaling up to their number. So they can put out warbands. It's going to be, let's see, we're going to look at this spot, this spot, this spot. So they're going to add 2 here. They're going to add 2 here. We're going to add 3 here. Good night. All right. And then are they going to do it there is the question. They do have, they do want to protect that, so, but they're only going to add 1 there, but it's going to cost 2 resources, which is kind of stupid, but well, that's the AI for you. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources, because they're only adding 1, but they're going to try and protect their ally there, I guess. Let's see if they have control now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they do have control back of this region. So give them control. 1, 2. So we're back up to 14. Back up to 14 there. Okay, so they did the rallying. Great. Then rampaging. To force removal in pieces, assuming no one grants retreat. They're going to try and do it versus the Romans first. So again, we need to look at rampaging. They can't, again, they can't do it against the Germans. They can't do it with a leader. And they can't do it against a citadel or a fort. So they can't rampage. So if they can't rampage, they're going to come down to enlist. So enlist is invite help for the Germans over here. It's a region within 1 of Germania. So they can only come into 1 adjacent space. Or within 1 region of Amberix. And they get to execute a free Germanic command in 1 region. Okay, well that's going to be interesting to try and figure this. Mm-hmm. We got to see if we can find. Or execute a free Germanic command in one region. What is a Germanic command? You might want to know. I don't know what a Germanic command is, to be honest. Let's see if we can figure out what a Germanic command is. Oh, I bet you it's just Germanic phase. There's a Germanic phase during the winter, and they can do things like raid, march, raid, rally, march, raid, and let's see if we can find this. Okay, here. Here it is. All right. Or execute one free limited command with Germanic pieces. 3.4. 3.4. Let's go to 3.4 because... Oh, Germanic commands. Here we go. I think we want to try to march them. So, Germanic warbands within a march. I think they move everyone, as long as they can keep control. They can keep control because they have that ally there. Actually, yeah, let's do it from down there. Maybe we can use these guys to come over there. I don't know. We can only do a limited command, which means we can only do it in one region. But now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They still have control of that region though. But that seems interesting. All right, let's see. Let's see how that goes. So that is that. These guys come over. This comes up here. We flip another card. And, oh, this card is really bad for us. Now we're back to the two bad guys going. And let's see what this event is. Legions 14 and 15. So we got the Legions of the 14th and the 15th. Romans may shift the Senate box one box up and place 2 legions total from the legions track or any fallen into... Oh, wow. So that would be huge. They get the 14th and the 15th legions are have arrived. Which makes me think they would do this event because that is pushing this up is huge. And then getting 2 of these guys, because now that hurts us from winning our... But for some reason we have to go through this. And the first question is Caesar or Legion with enemy allied... Can they play? Actually, it's Can Caesar or any legion with enemy and ally citadel leader control or where enemy battle or rampage now would force losses on a legion or Caesar? No, absolutely not. So they wouldn't do that. So they wouldn't try to battle. Enemy at 0 plus victory and Caesar are with legions and 4 auxiliary. Enemy at 0 plus victory. So I think that means, is there another faction that is on the cusp of victory besides them? And the answer to that is no, I don't believe so. So, Romans in sequence of play may use the events. Yes, they could, and most definitely. The event ineffective? No. So they're going to execute the event, which I think is huge for them. So they're going to get to put these guys. Where do they get to put them? So they get to shift the center box up to the top. And they get to place 2 legions. Oh, and they got to put it in here. That's where they're going. Provincicana. It's Provincicana. So that means the Adui are going to be doing dumb things here because they get to do their events and their special activities. So question number 1. Are they number 1 on the upcoming card? No, they're not. Can they use the event? No, they can't. Would a battle force losses on an enemy leader, an ally, a citadel, or a legion? No, they can't battle there. If they were to battle me there, they would get their asses kicked. And if they battle me there, I would take 1 damage. I think, actually, let's read that question again. Battle would force losses on an enemy leader, an ally, a citadel, or a legion. No. They could only take off one of our little war bands, which is no big deal, so no. Are there 0 to 4 Adui war bands on the map? No. Did the Adui have 0 to 3 resources? No. So they would try to march. And we probably forgot to spend their resources, I bet. So if they march, they would leave an Adui warband per region. And they don't want to lose control. So they can't march out of here, or they would... Well, they don't... They only have control here. So that's... I mean, every single thing that they would do would be dumb. I would think. Let's see if we can look at their... Here we go. Where's the rally option? Where is the rally option? 0 to 4 Adui war bands on the map, or rally would place. Oh, rally would place a citadel, an ally, or 3 pieces. Actually, yeah, they would actually do a rally, which makes sense. I don't know how I missed it, but yeah. So they're going to try to rally. They're going to try to rally here because that's going to help them. Let's get these pieces. I think they're going to go in all three of these pieces right here. Boom, boom, boom. So they're going to get one piece here. They're going to get three there. Really? Wait, can they rally there because they don't have control? If they have control, they get to place up to the thing. If not, so if they have an ally or a citadel, they have a citadel. They get to put three there. God damn. That's gonna give them 3, 4, 5, 6 versus my 2, 4, 5, which means they're gonna get control of this region. That's bad. Alright, so that's their rallying. What are they going to try to do with the rally? Then they're going to try to train if they have 0 to 9, or if their resources plus the Romans are not 15. Trade for all resources possible. And it's going to be 2 again. Yeah, they're going to just... This is how they're going to crank out resources, I think. Yeah, they're going to get 6 more resources. All right. Sure. That's great for them. Boom, done. Moving on. All right. This is our new card, which is Adutuka. So if our ally was to get this, Samgambri strike unprepared fort. March Germans to one region with a fort. They ambush Romans there. 1 loss per 2 warbands. That would be helpful. That would be great. How do we get them to do this? March Germans to one region with the fort. Then we can move those guys into that area because there's a fort there. Then ambush the Romans there. 1 loss, and they 1 loss for every 2 warbands. Oh, but it doesn't say whether those losses. I mean, okay, if I move these in here, right? One loss for every 2 warbands. Does that count the all the warbands in there, or just the German ones? Damn. Card number 58. Let's see if it maybe explains anything in card 58 here. All right. Okay, so it does go through things, but it doesn't mention like the simple thing of 1 loss per 2 warbands. It just says tips. Shaded march must be from an adjacent region. Ambush regardless of number of hidden pieces. Inflict 1 loss per 2 warbands, despite the presence of the defending fort. So let's see if we can find out the definition of a... The definition of a warband. Dun, dun, dun. Warbands. So, yeah. So it's all these guys, the Arverni, the Baltic, the Aedui, and the Germanic. So I would think it includes everyone. So that is going to be 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They have 11, which means they're going to cause 5 losses. And in this case, it specifically says you ignore the half loss because of the fort. So they're going to lose 5. So they're going to take 3 losses here. 1, 2, 3. 3 auxiliaries. So that's 3 losses. The next 2, they have to roll for their losses now. And when they do the losses, I just want to make sure if it's a 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, or 6. I know it's a 50-50 shot that they don't die, but all right, maybe we look here. That's fine. Oh, and when they remove this, our little thing goes down because now there's only 2 places off map. So we are even farther away from winning. Right. So I know it's 1, 2, or 3, or 4, 5, or 6 they die. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you say it ahead of time. But I would like to match what it is in the rule booklets. Because, you know, that would be cool and all. You know, cool. Legion. Let's see if it's listed here. 1.4. Maybe it's in 1.4. Oh my goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. I'm just trying to get fancy for no reason, and all it's done is send me down the rabbit hole, my friends. Send me down the rabbit hole. Oh my God. Okay, they're removed on a 1, 2, or 3. Romans defending in this region is Caesar, on a die roll of 4, 5, or 6 retain their ability to absorb losses by rolling a die and removed only on a 1, 2, or 3. So they removed on a 1, 2, or 3. So we want to see low number. So we did 3 damage. We have 2 more that they need to do. The first one will go up against a Legion. We would love to see this one die. It didn't die. He resisted it. And now, 1 more damage they need to Yes! We got one of them finally. That actually bumps this back up to 3 Legions now. So that's why that event was so good for them. Okay. And because we're ambushing, they don't get to fight back either. Ha ha ha. Alright. So that was a pretty good event. And now, the best part about this is it's our turn. They did the event, so we get to do our special activity and all of our cool, super cool things. We get to finally do something. We're going to battle. We're going to bite. We're going to fight. Oh, man. Maybe we're not. We should have control of this region. Guess that would be important if it mattered. We have control of this region. We have control of this region. We should probably take these things off. Alright. So, what I'm thinking is we should try to kill the blue guys. And because we have more underground than they have, yes, if we battle them, can we ambush? Any battle that begins with more hidden Arverni than hidden defenders. So we can't ambush there, and he's got a citadel there now, which stinks. Because now he's going to be able to protect this region much. And he's got but we're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of this guy. Okay, we're going to do this. We are not going to ambush. We're going to entaunt this region here. And we're going to change this blue faction into ours. So this is going to be, I'm not sure, but this is going to go back to him. And again, because we already had control, if Arverni have control, you can replace a Celtic or German ally with an Arverni counterpart. Boom. So we're going to do that there. And then we're going to battle. Battle it up, boys. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4.5. He's going to take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. How much does this cost? How much does this cost of us, you say? Fighting, battling. 1 per region. So 1 resource. Did it cost us to entaunt? 1 resource. Okay. So battle. Where is it? All right, so there is this battle procedure. So the attacker selects one fraction to defend. Blue guys. Defender, oh, you can opt to retreat unless we ambush. We did not choose to ambush. So they could choose to retreat. And they will choose to retreat. So maybe I should have ambushed to wipe out all those guys. I think we will do that. I'm going to undo this. Give him back his thing. We'll worry about that later once I wipe this guy out. So we will ambush, so he won't be able to retreat. There we go. So the attacker takes losses. So first thing, declare target. Declare retreats. Can they retreat? No. So we're going to attack. Defender has a citadel or a fort. Here, no, he does not. Defender takes normal losses. He's going to take 4 losses. Boom, boom, boom. See you later. So it's 1 for my leader, a half, and a half. So I have 4.5. Rounded down is 4. So he's taking 4 damage. Was it an ambush? Yes. Is Caesar defending? No. Defenders remove pieces without rolls. They don't have to. Boom. Then all attacking and defending survivors flip to revealed. Oh, really? Well, that's a bummer. Okay. This is our first, like, I know we've had fights, but is this like our first official fight? So that was pretty good. And then end. Boom. There you go. So you just go through the flow chart. Hopefully I didn't mess it up too badly. So that is that. We slide this over, move this back. This comes down over here. Now it's going to be the blue and the red guys. So the blue and the red, they don't really like this event. German allegiances. Ooh. March Germans from up to 2 regions, then ambush with all Germans able. Well, that's interesting. Huh. That is an interesting... Like, he could march these guys into here, march these guys into here. There would be 2, 4, 6, 8 ambushing these guys here. You can do the same thing there. Oh my god, that's... March Germans from up to 2 regions, then ambush with all Germans. The Roman player really doesn't want to have all these Germans sitting there in his spots, so he's gonna activate the events, and that's gonna be quite devastating, actually. Getting all these Germans out. Oh wait, can the Germans go into an area that is not adjacent to Germany? Hang on. That is a good question. I don't know if they can actually go into a space that's not in Germany. I know they can go into a space adjacent to Germany, but I'm not sure they can move anywhere else. if there's something about whether or not they can go into... That's a good question. Not 100% sure one way or the other, to be honest. I know when you go into the winter phase, there is a German phase in there. Individual dramatic pieces may participate in several types of commands during the course of March. Okay, next. Move into at most one region with each group. Select destination groups first. Doesn't specifically say they won't, so I am going to assume if the Roman is smart, he would try to get all of these Germans out of there because the Germans are kind of working with the Baltics. So having all those guys in there, just having them attack him is not a good idea, so he's going to try and move them here. He's going to move these guys here. Holy cow, look at all the Germans. And then he's going to, he can march from two regions. Boom, boom. Let's see. Where are all the white little pawns? Here they are. So he marched from here and here. Lovely. Then ambush with all German units. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Which is... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. So round that down to 4. They're going to take 4 damage. That hurt. 4 damage there. It doesn't say, but I'm assuming they would... hang on a second. Hang on. Because these guys just attacked up from up there. These guys should have been flipped over. When they and the Germans attacked and did a bunch of damage, all these guys should have been flipped over. So I'm assuming even when it says, the event says then ambush, I'm assuming that still means you need to flip over, right? Let's look at 433 and see if it tells us. 433. I'm wondering if you ambush... They're using the ambush special ability, does not mention flipping over. I wonder if that's just when you battle. If you look at the battle special ability, let's see if the battle special ability says... Ambush, ambush, ambush. Let's see where the rest of this ambush. Ambush. 433, 443, 453, 463. These are all the different factions, though. Don't really care about that. 344, which might be the 344. It does say reveal surviving German and defending hidden warbands and auxilia. Under the Germanic control. Again. Because it's an event, I don't. Alright, we'll assume they're going to flip up. But if that was the case, then they would have lost. They wouldn't have done that much damage because some of these guys would have already been flipped over from the last time they attacked, which I think was 4 guys they moved up here. So these guys got moved out, but they didn't do an attack. So there's 5 guys there, so they're only going to do 2 damage instead of 4 damage. But then these guys will move. We're going to move these guys in. But when, oh wait, when they know, wait, because he moved. Yeah. Once you march, if you're visible, when you march, you become invisible. So these guys would have moved in. They would have all been hidden, and then they would all attack. So he is going to do 4 damage. That is correct. Now that I think about it, I am correct. Okay. See? I knew I'd work through it. Okay, well, that's definitely going to help the... look at that. They almost wiped out all these guys, and we got Germans everywhere. There's Germans blitzkrieging into Paris again. Oh, my God. It's happened 3, 5, 12 different times throughout history. And now there's another time. All right, so that's that blue team... Blue team, a Dewey. Oh, do you, Dewey. I think they're going to battle in ambush. And they're going to do that. They got plenty of resources. They don't have to worry about resources. They can do tons of resources. They're probably going to lose this, and they know they're going to probably lose that. But what they actually... The Dewey can only have two citadels. So they can't make this a citadel. And unfortunately, this is what ends up happening. After an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, they get sick of running the AI and they just do what's best for them every time and ignore all the bullshit. Sorry, it's what I just normally do. ambush, but that's not, I mean, sure they can do some damage to a spirit, but is that the best thing they can do? Oh. What's Suborn? Suborn is one region with a hidden Adui, 2 resources per ally. Place and remove up to 3 pieces total. Oh, you have to have I was going to say they could do that there, but they can't. They have to have a hidden guy there. So maybe they want to move some guys around, try and take over some more territory. I think they are going to march. They're going to march 2 guys over, so we're going to spend 2 for this. And or maybe, you know what? Hang on. Bring it 1, 2, yeah. Probably be a good idea. March there. We're going to spend some resources. March from here. They're going to march in there, which then makes this neutral. So that's another 2 resources. So marching, march. And now they can trade or suborn. They got plenty of resources. Let's see here. So 2 resources per ally, 1 per other piece. Place and remove up to 3 pieces there total. Any faction. At most, 1 piece may be an allied tribe. Wow, that stinks because they're going to get rid of our tribe. I wish I would have known they could do this. They're going to get rid of this one. They're going to get rid of this one. And that's going to give them control of this. That seems kind of broken. So they can place and or remove up to 3 pieces there. At most, 1 piece may be an allied tribe. Others must be warbands or auxiliary. And that doesn't cost anything. Oh, 2 resources for an ally and 1. So 2, it's going to cost them 3 resources. Because 2 for the replacing that and 1 for our little piece. That was still pretty good. I would like to do that. Alright, they're done. Get these jerks out of here. Get out of here, jerks. Let's see what we got coming up. We got a good Baltic. Remove 2 allies from the Atterbates region. Belgate, place up to 2 allies there. Then free rally in 1 Baltic region. That seems pretty good. So you can kick out the Roman. He can actually possibly win then. So yeah, I think he would probably play this event. Remove 2 allies from the Atterbates region. That is that one. Again, he only needs to kick 1 out. But that's going to knock him down a spot. Knock him up a spot. And then the Baltic place up to 2 allies there. It's going to add 1, which puts him there. Gives him enough to possibly win the game. And then he can free rally in 1 region. A rally, huh? And if he rallies, I was just checking to see if he rallies, can he flip these guys over? You have to march them, I think, and flip them over. There's not a single, up there in the yellow area, there's not a single triangle where you can get a citadel placed up there. They're all circles. There's no squares. It's all circles, no squares all the time. Wow. So they cannot do that. So they get a free rally. They only have a few more units. They might as well bring them back here. So that's a pretty good event. And then we can do anything we want. Well, well, well. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I think what we're going to do, actually, we're going to entente with the march. So we're going to entente here, which is going to get rid of blue, put our guy back out there. How much does that cost? 1 resource. Ugh, we're running out of resources quick. So that's our special activities going here. Then we're going to move here. We're going to move. Oh boy. What do we want to do? You know what? Instead of marching, we're going to rally and entente. So rally is going to be in. And this is going to hurt because we're going to have to do it in 3 regions. 3 regions. This is we're going to be down to 0 resources. Why am I the only one spending resources? What happened here? What's going on? That's crazy. Well, we need to get more guys out. We can put 3 guys out there because of this. We can put 2 guys out there. No, we don't have a guy there. So actually we won't do that in this location. But we will do it. Oh, that's only 1 guy. Really? Oh, better than that. We're going to, yes, we're going to put this out here. That is going to cost us 2. So, that seems pretty good. That seems pretty good. But I don't know. That's pretty rough. All right. Well, before we get started with the next one, we will see it is circumventilation. Coming up next for the Roman player. Romans may free march into an adjacent citadel and put circumventilation marker on the citadel faction piece there. Marked group may not move from the region. If it attacks alone, Romans defend as if it was a fort. Remove marker if group attacks Romans in battle or is eliminated, or if there's no Romans there. That seems interesting. Oh, and guess what? Winter has showed its ugly face, which means no marching. You cannot march. So, this says Romans may free march into an adjacent citadel and put this marker on. So this really screwed the Romans over, and I love it because they won't be able to get a free march because no marches. Does that count for events as well? Let's look at the rules on that real quick, because we're gonna be calling this an episode. But before we do that, so when winter shows its ugly face, oh, okay. So here's events versus rules. I would have to say which overrides. Is the event override the fact that it's winter, or does winter override the fact that it's an event? And I would say, because it's a weather, you can't override the weather. The weather happens whether you like it or not. So I'm going to say, no, you don't get to do that. If I was playing the Romans, I might not feel that way. But screw it, I'm not playing the Romans. You can't do it. The winner says, no, you can't. And of course, like all the coin games, you can't find any information because this is loaded with pages and pages of text. And it takes you 25 minutes to try and find an answer to a simple question like winner card. If playing a winner card, conduct a winner round, marking each phase on the sequence of play with the winter marker. Set aside winner cards to show how many have been gone by. If this is the final winner card, the game is completed. Determine victory. On the last event card before winter, commands by the sequence of play, including Germanic commands via Baltic and list, may not use march. Place the frost marker on the played event card as a reminder. Events may still allow march. There you go. So it took us a while, but we found it. Even though it's not under winter, it's under the frost marker, which Congratulations, we figured that one out. Holy cow. Boys and girls, thanks so much for coming by. As I've mentioned many, many times, I enjoy the coin games. I enjoy this system. I enjoy playing the games. But man, it is always, always, always a super hard endeavor to undertake, running all the AIs and trying to figure out what they should do and how they're supposed to do what they're going to do and blah, 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 blah. It's just, there's so many questions that come up, like, can the Germans move, can they move not, do they have to stay next to Germany or can they move into the map? I have to look that up. What happens when you have an event and you have the winter, which takes precedence? I don't know. We have to look it up. There's so many things to look up, so many different questions. And it's always, 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 and again, this may not be a negative thing, it is always a block of text that you got to sift through to find an answer, which has always been kind of my bugaboo with coin, because it's like, it shouldn't be that hard. Just give us the basics and gives us the information outlined in a, I don't know the best way to outline it, but the way they do it with a block of text is just, it's like reading an ASL rule booklet. If you've read the ASL rule booklet, it is, and I will try to do my best to interpret it for you, but it basically says something very simple, like, when you move a unit into an adjacent space, it must be able to, it spends 1 movement point. Very simple rule, right? But then, on top of that, there's like 25 exceptions, unless, of course, you're using bypass movement, or you're using some kind of, night movement or whatever. And there's it goes on for pages and pages and pages on that simplest little rule. Like, moving a guy from one space to the next space costs you 1 movement point. If there's a building there, it's going to cost you 2 movement points. If you're moving into a forest, it costs you 3 movement points or whatever. And then, of course, there's an exception for this. If you're low crawling, this will happen. If you are sprinting, this will happen. If you're using bypass movement, this will happen. And you literally take a huge paragraph to represent all the things that may or may not be important to that, what you're looking for. And you got to read through all of it to figure out a simple question like, how many movement points does it cost me to move in there? Because it's now, instead of 1 sentence, it's like a huge paragraph. It's just the way it is. I don't know how to fix it. It's very frustrating. I know it's frustrating for a lot of people out there. I know that when I played with the Gandhi app on my phone and it ran the AI, I had the literally the bestest time that I've ever had playing any coin game ever, because the AI was easy to run because of the app. I said at the time, they should find this guy and they should make sure they hire him to do all the apps for all of the coin games, because it is a beautiful game and a beautiful system that needs an app to run the AI. When I click a button and it tells me this is what the AI does, add these units here, this thing there, move this unit here, do whatever this, and I don't need to try and calculate it out. It was just the best thing since sliced bread. It really was. It was great, and I had a great time playing it with the Gandhi app. And I know there's one for the Fields of Fire, and they brand new released Red Dust Rebellion. So there's 3 of the 12. So I hope somehow if this guy can do this for all the games of the system, I'm hoping maybe GMT will stifle him and give him some money for it, because I think it can definitely do a lot for the system and lift it up. And then a lot of people enjoy it. I know there's a lot of people that will hate playing coin because it's like, oh, I got to play by myself, and if I got to run all the AIs, it's I don't want to do that. If I can click a couple buttons and get my answer, it'd be so much better. Anyways, we might leave this out tonight and pick this up tomorrow, but this is game number 100 on the list. So tomorrow, that means we're going to be reviewing our top 100 games from 2024. Brand new, never before played games. We're going to review and talk about each of them and rank them from 100, the worst of the bunch, all the way up to number 1 and find out where they all lay. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Falling Sky will be on the list somewhere. Until then, my friends, take care of yourselves. And don't you forget, I will see you all down the line. And, by the way, Mark Rogario, we're praying for the best for your recovery. I know that Ruff mentioned today that he went into hospice care. He's been battling pancreatic cancer. It is a terminal cancer, and it will eventually, unfortunately, get the better of him. But we're hoping and praying for a good fight out of Mark, and praying for the best for him, because it's just not a good situation. So I just wanted to say that, it's just not good. I don't know any information other than what was shared with me. So we're hoping that he has a good fight, and one way or the other, we enjoyed every minute and every day that you have, and we enjoy Mark and everything that he's shared with us. So thank you all. We'll see you all next time. Until then, my friends, I will see you all down the line. Bye for now.